That's talking about how SA doesn't deserve a spot at these tournaments, questioning the talent level in that region, saying why do we have guaranteed SC slots at majors. You can all now shut the fuck up forever. This team was amazing at this event.
Now he says it to chat.
I'm sorry.
I'm glad you're sitting next to me right now and not us.
SA haters, you're done.
Where you at?
Where you at? I'm sure they're in the chat right now still. But
He's right, though. He's right. It's been kind of tiresome as well. Every time you'd see a team get knocked out, you have PPD, who wasn't even able to play on the main event stage, talking about how it was a free slot all year and how he loved Birmingham because it was the best tournament. It was going to be better than TI. It's bullshit. These guys, they had composure, they had heart. They get beaten by the tournament favorites, sure, but like they got to be proud.
I do want to say it's pretty obvious where that comes from, though, too. I think there are so many moments where you see somebody being, I don't know, I think the word that we use right now in the gaming community is usually hostile. I think one of the times often when you see somebody acting that way, it's pretty clear what their intentions are. I think a lot of the times that we see people so against an entire region, it's usually because they're just worried that their region isn't going to make it, right? Like they're agenda Andes. That's what I like to call them. But we have a winning Andy right now with Casey. Let's hear what Puppy has to say.
I'm sorry, I had a moment. Puppy was trying to bring back a joke that didn't work the first time when I interviewed him during media days.
Right.
Okay, let's talk about you and Infamous. The last time that we've chatted with a couple people on your team, including Apsar yesterday, talking about how scary it is to face a team like Infamous, where you haven't had a chance to watch them as often and study as much as you have the other teams. So what was that like for you as a captain?
I've been watching Infamous games, I think, this whole tournament. And therefore, I admire the way they play and their play style and their ideas. You know, Ricky Mid, you know, with Magnus and stuff. I've kind of saw it. I played with Chris Luck, a pub game, actually, just when he did that. So I was kind of aware of it and stuff. But I do admire their ideas. I do admire how they play, and I do think they're actually a very good team.
And you're known for being an expert drafter, so I want to get your insight, if you don't mind, on the ban of Wraith King. Was that a respect ban based off of a little bit of fear, only respect, or were you just trying to play it safe?
It's like when things align in a way in draft. It's basically, I can't like give away exactly why I did it, but there's some type of heroes that they ban, which I consider that they're making Wraith King's life easier. And since they're doing that, I don't think I need to set myself into their trap. I'm like, okay, fine. If you want to remove so many heroes or whatever, do exactly the way playstyle you want to make Wraith King work, I'll just remove it. And it's like a boost because they've kind of won every game with Wraith King.
Last question. I'd love to get your thoughts on just an outsider's perspective for a moment on Dota. We talked a little bit about the respect that you have from Infamous. Is it a respect in general for watching teams? Like, you've played this game for a really long time. You remember what it was like to get started, and now it's kind of cool that you can take a step back and see how other teams and other players are trying to follow along in your footsteps and those of the other veterans.
It's always nice to see something fresh. Yeah, you know, whether it be the competition we're in, whether it be music or food or whatever it is, it's like I feel like this, when I watch Infamous play, I feel like it's some fresh stuff, you know, some dank, fresh, you know, good Dota. Therefore, it's really, yeah, it's pleasuring to actually watch.
Yeah,
It really feels good to like see some things like that happen.
Well, congratulations and best of luck tomorrow with Vici.
Thank you.
All right, back to you guys.
Yeah, Puppy, I very much like you am a connoisseur of dank Dota, and we're going to be talking a lot more about the dankest of Dota, but I actually just heard as well that Casey is going to be standing by as well, or no, Sheever, that makes a little bit more sense. Casey cannot be everywhere at once. We have Sheever standing by right now with Chris Lock.
Yes, thank you, Rich. Chris, I kind of want to give this interview a positive turn. You were the person that said before TI, the goal is to be the best South American team any international has ever seen. And you have achieved that. And I feel also often when I'm doing these interviews, I am talking as if it's the end of a year and it's the end of like a career. And for you guys, I feel like this is just a beginning. How are you feeling about this run so far and what is in the future for you?
Para darle un spin más positivo a esto, vos dijiste antes que quería ser el mejor equipo de Sudamérica en un international y ese era su objetivo. Su objetivo no era ser el primero, pero era ser el mejor de Sudamérica y lo han logrado. No solamente eso, sino que para muchos equipos international es como el final de un ciclo, pero para ustedes es un poco como el comienzo. Así que, ¿qué opinan al respecto? ¿Cómo se sienten?
Yo me siento muy bien, creo que cada uno de mis compañeros también se sienten bien de lo que hemos logrado. Como te dije en un momento, yo quería estar en uno de los equipos que hacen historia en el Perú o en Sudamérica y me siento bien por hacer eso, ¿no?
He says that he's great, his teammates are also great, and as you said, he wanted to be one of the best teams in Peru and South America, and having accomplished that, it feels really good.
I'm very glad to hear that because I know you've got the whole continent watching, and I think with your performance over the last couple of days, it's the whole world right now, and everybody is shouting "God!" and everybody is super happy for you guys to be able to reach it, to make such a big impression. And I want you to address all those people, if you can, and tell them what they have meant for you.
Con la performance que han tenido durante este torneo, no solamente toda la gente en Sudamérica está alentando por ustedes, sino que también todo el mundo, con el GA y con todo eso. Y ahora tenés una oportunidad de hablar con tus fans y decirles algo a ellos. ¿Algo que quieras decir?
Que gracias por apoyar, ¿no? Que si no hubiera sido por ellos no estuviéramos acá y que en Sudamérica hay mucha gente que apoya el Dota, pero creo que ahora como hemos llegado a un lugar que ningún equipo lo ha hecho, creo que ha habido mucha más gente. En mi página he recibido muchos mensajes de aliento. Antes recibía como que malos, como diciendo que no vas a poder, no sé, y eso me motivaba más, ¿no? A poder callarles la boca y mira dónde estoy.
He just wants to thank all of his fans and also that the reception has been positive from reaching to this point. He also wants to point out that before fans used to be a little bit more negative and tell him things like, well, you'll never get this far, you'll never get the chance, you guys are not that good. And like, well, here we are, and we proved that South American Dota is a real thing.
Definitely a real thing. Super excited to see what you guys can do next. Thank you for talking to me, and we're going to go back to Rich.
I think definitely silenced all of the haters. It was something that we were talking about a little bit earlier on the panel. And also, I do want to touch upon the fact that interview, usually after we do see a team get knocked out, there's a very different feeling to it. I think it's palpable, the achievement that was already reached by this team. And also, I think a lot of us, I'm assuming a lot of you guys in chat as well, I know us on the desk, it's like we just want to watch these guys play more Dota.
100%. There's really nothing else to say. These guys played like champions at this event. They played like a team that is going to be a factor in future majors, period.
I just hope that this team takes the experience back to South America as a whole. Oftentimes, the South American teams and the Southeast Asian teams, since there are so many countries, it kind of gets a little tribal at times. And it's like, oh, it's like the Peruvians versus the Brazilians and stuff like that. And obviously, I'm extremely happy that Peru was able to make it this far. But I hope that they take their winnings and they enrich the South American scene as a whole, because that's the goal of these extremely high prize pools.
And honestly, looking to the future, like it's not like these guys are near the end of their careers. You take any of their two players, add their ages together, they're still younger than Nahas. There's so much time for these guys to grow. It's a
well played, sir.
It's true.
It's true. It's just true. Like, I'm just saying, these guys have the
Basic
potential.
math.
Like, Chris Whisper has been a guy to watch going back all the way to the first minor at Dream League. Remember talking to him, they like, this kid, he was 16 at the time, and he looked like a superstar in the making. It's just a matter of time. We can only expect this region to do better and better. You look at other games, typically as regions adapt to a game later, it takes extra time. But, I mean, I'm sure anyone who's watched Counter-Strike recently knows that Brazil's not a region to be trifled with. I can't imagine that Dota is going to stay, Northern Hemisphere dominant for much longer.
Well, here's the question that I have now, and this is looking very far down the line. I mean, obviously, this is not something that's going to come into effect instantly, but when you look at this team, I think one of the reasons that they were so dangerous is because of the attitude that they were able to have and the road that they actually had at this tournament, coming in as the underdog, being these young guys. Do you think now that they've already posted up results, do you think that stress, that pressure comes on them in the next tournament?
I don't think so.
No.
Did you see his face?
100%
Did you
not.
see his Chris Luck's face? Like, that man had a purpose. He had a goal. You can see the heart, like, through his jersey.
Well, but
He's not going anywhere.
I want to go a different direction with that. It's also about how much better can these teams be with coaching? How much better can these teams be with analytical and support staffs? Tsunami, my man, talking about bringing the resources back to that region. That infrastructure is there now.
Well, speaking of infrastructure and staffs, I do want to take a slight pivot here because there are so many contributors to Dota 2, and everybody knows GL and Mumu. Every time there's an update, we are always excited to see what they put out. Our cameras met up with them at home to learn more about them.
有时候就是你有些东西你说不出来，然后用故事、用画儿表达出来。我操，差点掉了。和 GL 相识是 TI1 之后，吸引我们的地方就在于它的画风以及我们对 Dota 1的熟知。这个可能也对 Dota 2版本的平衡。我们都会做一些分析，然后做一些漫画内容，当然会夸大一点，搞笑一点。如果大型比赛的话，我会把战绩、战队变成一个形象。我画的一般都是就是比赛的流程嘛，比赛里面的各种梗，基本上都画一些。就之前我有各种风格，包括黑白的线、Q 版各种。潮汐的话，当时就不经意间画了一个形象，然后在国内来说起了个名叫瓜皮，这算一个现在代表我的一个形象作品。一到晚上这样开，我就感觉就是Dota所有角色里面，这个影魔是最有特色的，所以就贼喜欢。然后后来就弄了一个 Q 版的形象。冰女呢？冰女就比较复杂了。单身男子的喜好，就是看完我画的图的下面评论，就感觉比较有动力，就比较想就是给大家带来欢乐。
就觉得这些画的特别厉害，特别有构思吧。
就是因为他们的这么一点一滴的付出，所以Dota 2能有今天，就他们也是有很大的功劳的。
我觉得这种对整个电竞圈或者对Dota圈的话，都是一个非常好的一个事情。我觉得他就是他做的事情，我觉得是非常有意义的。
还是比较感谢这些自媒体对于Dota的，就是一些纯喜好的支持，真的还是有帮助，我觉得。
还是挺感谢这个游戏，这个不仅是让我们有了一个娱乐的东西，而且收获了友情以及更多的东西。这已经是第9个年头了，Dota 2还是这么大，还是说一起凑到一起说，哎，把笔一扔，就说打游戏吗？打。即便可能项目做得慢一点，可能自己的规划会拉长一点。但是我们不想抛弃掉一个曾经给我们带来快乐，现在也给我们带来